His tone resolute, stern, he knelt by the sofa and put his hand on my back. Right now, vamos. When I shook my head no, he began to argue. An argument we've had often. Any time I feel even slightly unwell, he insists we go to the doctor. In his country, the health system works as it should. He has a European sense of what it means to be ill. Always, nearly always, I refused, even before the pandemic. I've always hated doctors, a sense I got as a child, I suppose, that usually things pass, that doctors waste your money and your time, you wait for hours, and they send you home the same or sicker. An American attitude or a Kentucky attitude, maybe most of my siblings share it. But I couldn't argue with him now. I said, please, Wapo, I can't. And when he started to speak again, I said, please, I love you, I can't talk, I need to be alone. I knew it would hurt him, but it was true. I couldn't be considerate. Pain had sealed me off from sociability. Okay, he said, standing up. Okay, Bello. These were our names for each other, Wapo and Bello, silly lovers' names. And then he left without saying anything more, closing the door quietly behind him. For 8 hours the pain lasted, and then, not all at once, but slowly, gradually, I couldn't have said when it happened, it began to ease. The fist relaxed its grip. I could breathe again and think. The pain didn't go away, I told the doctors, but it felt manageable. I could bear it. I could stand up and talk with El, who had been beside himself with worry, he said. He had looked in on me many times over the hours, but I hadn't noticed. Once he had called my name, but I hadn't heard. It was something I ate, I told him, food poisoning. And when he said again I should go to the hospital, I said it was passing already, it was nothing, it would go away on its own. And the fever, one of the doctors said, when did that start? And I said, the same day as the pain. I don't know what time it started, but that evening I had chills and aches in all my limbs. So of course I thought it was COVID. A Google search found that sometimes people did have stomach pains. It was a rare symptom, but not unheard of. Basically nothing is unheard of, the nurse said to me days after the pain started, when finally I did want to go to urgent care and they insisted I get a COVID test first, 6 months into the pandemic, and we still know so little about this disease. The fever was highest on the first day, I said to the doctor, about 102. Then it fell off. On the other days, it hovered around 100. The pain never went away, I went on, but for the next 2 days it was bearable. It felt like a normal stomachache almost, indigestion and bloating, and the pain in my groin faded too. I could walk and talk. I didn't have much appetite, but I could read and work a little. And then yesterday it got worse again. The pain in my stomach, but especially a new pain in my lower back. I thought maybe I had wrenched it on the first day when I was in so much pain. It got so bad that I couldn't sleep, even fitfully. I couldn't sleep at all, so finally I called urgent care. El had made me call, was the truth of it. He got so upset finally I couldn't bear it, and the morning after the COVID test came back negative, the hospital had set up a drive-through clinic. I rolled down my window and they stuck the long swab up my nose. I drove. You drove, the doctor said. And I said, what else was I going to do? Of course I drove to urgent care. El wanted to come, but it wasn't permitted. There were new policies in the pandemic, and patients had to come alone. He was in the kitchen when I left, still in his pajamas. He wore real pajamas, not just a t-shirt and sweats, but actual clothes for sleeping. He likes a sense of ceremony about things, for each moment to be considered. A day should be a work of art, he likes to say. The ones he wore now had a pattern of little deer. He ordered them after we moved into our new neighborhood, where there were many deer. We both gasped in wonder to see them in our yard on winter mornings. It seemed magical to us, and especially to El, who had never seen them before coming to America. I laughed the first time I saw the pajamas. He came to bed in them, and we both laughed, his pijama de ciervos. He hugged me before I left. It's good you're going, he said. You'll find out what it is, and they'll make it better. And he stood at the door as I pulled out of the drive, watching me leave. It was very early. I was the first person at the clinic when it opened. The woman at registration asked me to wait at the door while she pulled on her face shield, not the flimsy, almost disposable kind I had seen around town, but made of a thick, hard plastic, black, almost military.